The story of the Zodiac Killer is one of the most chilling and mysterious cases in American history. It's a tale that has haunted investigators, journalists, and amateur sleuths for decades. The Zodiac Killer was a serial murderer who terrorized Northern California in the late 1960s and early 1970s, taunting police and the public with cryptic letters, phone calls, and, most famously, a series of coded messages. Some of these codes have never been cracked, and the true identity of the Zodiac remains unknown to this day. It all began in the summer of 1968, or Z3 for O, sent to the San Francisco Chronicle in November 1969. This code stumped everyone for over 50 years. The Zodiac's final known letter, sent in 1974, included a short code that remains uncracked. Some believe it holds the key to his identity. Others think it's just another game, another way for the Zodiac to keep his legend alive. It wasn't until December 2020 that a team of amateur codebreakers finally cracked it. The message was another taunt. For one, he used a mix of symbols, letters, and numbers, often with no clear pattern. Over the years, thousands of amateur sleuths, cryptographers, and even artificial intelligence programs have tried to crack the Zodiac's remaining codes. A symbol of the unknown and the unsolved, the idea that a killer could taunt the police, send coded messages, and then simply vanish is both terrifying and fascinating. Watching from the shadows as new generations try to crack his codes, others think he died long ago, taking his secrets with him. Powerful computers can analyze patterns and test millions of possible solutions in seconds. Artificial intelligence can spot connections that humans might miss, but so far, the remaining ciphers have resisted all attempts to crack them. But as long as his ciphers remain unsolved, the mystery will live on. Online forums are filled with theories, possible solutions, and wild speculation. Some people have devoted their entire lives to solving the mystery. There's something irresistible about a puzzle that no one can solve, and the legend of the Zodiac Killer lives on, as haunting and unsolved as ever. And memories have faded, but the codes remain, silent and unbroken, daring us to try one more time. It's a story about fear, obsession, and the power of mystery. It's about the lengths people will go to in search of the truth, and the frustration of never quite finding it. A secret message that might hold the answer to one of history's greatest mysteries. The Zodiac knew this. He played on people's curiosity, their need to know, their desire to solve the unsolvable. He also made deliberate mistakes, misspellings, and false clues to throw investigators off. Some experts believe that some of the ciphers are actually unsolvable. For others, he's a symbol of the unknown, a puzzle that may never be solved. But for everyone who has ever tried to crack his codes, he's a challenge, a reminder that some secrets are harder to uncover than others. Just random gibberish meant to confuse and frustrate. But again, no name, no identity. Maybe the answer is hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right person to see it. Or maybe the Zodiac's greatest trick was convincing us that there was a solution at all. When two teenagers were shot and killed on Lake Herman Road, he also included detailed descriptions of his crimes, threats against schoolchildren, and bizarre references to pop culture and astrology. He signed his letters with the symbol a circle with a cross through it that became his infamous calling card. Just outside Vallejo, California, arrived in 3 parts, sent to 3 different newspapers. The Zodiac demanded that the papers print his code on their front pages, or he would go on a killing spree. The code was a mix of symbols, letters, and shapes, and it baffled everyone who saw it. Police interviewed hundreds of suspects, but none could be definitively linked to the crimes. Over the years, several names have emerged as possible suspects, but the evidence has always been circumstantial. The case remains open in several jurisdictions, and the files are still being reviewed by cold case detectives. But just a week later, a high school teacher and his wife managed to crack it. The message was chilling: "I like killing people because it is so much fun." But there was no name, no clue to the killer's identity. The crime was brutal, but at first, it seemed like an isolated incident. That changed 7 months later, when another couple was attacked in a parked car at Blue Rock Springs Park. This time, the killer called the police himself, taking credit for both attacks. But what really set the Zodiac apart from other killers was his love of communication. He sent dozens of letters to newspapers, police, and even private citizens. These letters were filled with taunts, threats, and, most intriguingly, he claimed to have killed as many as 37 people, though only 5 murders have been definitively linked to him. Each time, he sent more letters, more threats, and more ciphers. Some of these codes were solved, but others remain a mystery. Cipher's complex codes that he claimed would reveal his identity if solved. The first cipher, known as the 408 character cipher, over the next few years, the Zodiac continued his reign of terror. The most famous unsolved cipher is the so-called 340 character cipher, but there are still other ciphers that have never been solved. What makes the Zodiac's codes so difficult to solve? But that hasn't stopped people from trying. The Zodiac's letters weren't just about codes, though. Despite the massive manhunt, the Zodiac was never caught. The Zodiac story has inspired countless books, movies, and documentaries. It's become a part of American folklore, but for many, the real draw of the Zodiac case is the codes themselves. Some people believe that the Zodiac is still alive. In recent years, advances in technology have given new hope to those trying to solve the Zodiac's codes. The Zodiac story is a reminder of how much we still don't know. For some, the Zodiac is just a criminal, a murderer who got away with his crimes. As the years go by, the chances of finding the Zodiac's true identity grow slimmer. Witnesses have died, evidence has been lost. Maybe one day, someone will find the key. Until then, the mystery endures, the codes remain,